Somebody shout with me, with the first fruit.
First fruit, the law of first fruit. Today is first fruit service.
First fruit.
And with the first fruits of all thine increase.
So I came to the conclusion in 2019 that I do not want to be a part of the gimmickry of it. And I still stand by that.
I don't want peace.
They want me not to collect first fruit now. We will scatter that table.
I want problems always.
First fruit.
Before you pay school fees, before you eat, before you change your vehicle, before you renovate your house, before you reinvest back into the business, you come up with your first fruit. It is first thing first.
Plan with your landlord that even though you're owing, you will pay much. Because you must first of all bring first fruit to God. Don't pay school fees, don't pay rent. Bring all your income and give to God.
You carry your first fruit in your hand. Father, house rent is knocking, but you are more important. Children's school fees crying, but you are more important. And to even reinvest this money back to the business, you are more important than the business. You are first. And so therefore, before I attend to any other thing, I attend to the first, because first thing first.
That's not what the Bible is teaching. That's just a manipulation. That's not what the Bible is teaching. First fruit is not an offering you give to a man of God. I'm a pastor. I should like first fruit, but I will not deceive you to collect your money. First fruit is not money you give to a man of God. First fruit is a symbolic communication. And I will show you the lesson that was communicated in the first fruit.
Proverbs chapter 3, verse 9.
Proverbs 3:9.
Proverbs chapter 3, beginning from verse 9.
Let's read. 1 to go. Honor the Lord with thy substance, and with the first fruits of all thine increase.
Let's read it in the King James, please. Honor the Lord with your substance and with the first fruit. Somebody shout with me, with the first fruit of all your increase. Then verse 10. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine.
And these are the kind of texts that are misunderstood. They think God is saying, you know, honor the Lord with your first fruit and all that. They think God is giving them a principle of prosperity, a money scheme, or a formula, or a principle of increase. You know, people assume that what Solomon is saying in Proverbs 3:9 is that at the beginning of every year, if you want your barns to increase, don't pay school fees, don't pay rent, bring all your income and give to God. Plan with your landlord that even though you're owing, you will pay much, because you must first of all bring first fruit to God. You know, the truth of the matter is that you cannot have increase by giving. Turn to your neighbor, say, neighbor, the truth of the matter, you cannot increase by giving. Say it again, you cannot increase by giving. And Solomon knows it. Solomon, who wrote that scripture, knows it. He expects you to know it. Giving is honor, giving is godly, but giving is not to prosper. Giving is honor, giving is godly, but giving is not to prosper. This is the challenge with many Pentecostal charismatics. They live in a delusion. So everything that happened to them materially, they say it's because I gave. So what are the things that didn't happen even though you gave? What about those who gave and reduced? Listen carefully, everybody. No pastor can teach you how to prosper. Say that to your neighbor in capital letters. Say it again. I say it in capital letters. I want it to enter so that even if by mistake you're in a bad dream and a pastor is using Bible to teach you to prosper, you will wake up from the dream. The people that can teach you how to prosper may not even be Christians. They may never have been to church, and they may hate God, but they have the keys of wealth creation in their hands. Are you hearing what I'm saying?
The law of first fruit. And you see that word first, it means the law of priority. The things you put first and every other thing will work. The law of first fruit is the law of foundation. You put it first, then it carries the rest of the building.
One of the fundamental principles that govern abundance, supernatural supplies in this kingdom is first principles. Everybody shout with me, first principles. Can you please scream it authoritatively? Can you scream it convincingly? It's the master key to wealth.
If you go to university and read business admin for 4 years, you spend 4 years in the university consuming textbooks, consuming materials, and understudying businesses and patterns globally. And somebody gives you 11 verses and says these are principles to prosper. Who never did any business that prospered? Why are you looking at me now? Which business did Jesus do that prospered? Which business did Jesus, which enterprise did Jesus establish that prospered? He didn't come to establish business for his people. He came to save his people from their sins. So he never had the opportunity to do any business, talk more of giving you principles of business.
Now, I am not going to try to disagree or criticize any of them based on their submissions on this subject. The Bible can be used to defend anything. The Bible can be used to critique anything. Proponents of first fruits, right? Of course, we'll always explain it, defend it, and the rest. Critics of that practice will also do the same, right? There are those that said, people have argued, right, that the first fruit is actually Jesus Christ. I think Dr. Abel Damina said something like that some time ago, that the first fruit is actually Jesus Christ. Some have said, no, it is the first fruit, the case of Abraham and all that. Like I said, it doesn't matter which camp you stand on. The belief and the argument and this debate will continue. Now, let me also say this. You see, there was a place Dr. Abel said, we are going to scatter it. They are warming up to collect your first fruit. They are going to scatter it. That's not true. That's not true. In fact, antagonizing it will make more people to keep paying. This is human psychology 101. I can tell you, no matter what you preach, people that will give first fruit will keep giving. So this whole idea of let's scatter it, no. People will give. That is a fact. Ever since this tithe campaign started, I remember a particular guy. You guys know him, a popular guy. He said at some point that they should give him 5 years, right? And people will stop paying tithe in Nigeria. That's what the guy said. Today, the guy is not even, he's tired. He has abandoned it. He has abandoned the whole anti-tithe crusade. So it doesn't really matter. People will keep doing it. That is just a fact. And you see people say, this thing worked for me. And of course, it is their testimony. They have a right to their testimony. But then again, I would like to know, let's look at this from your own perspective, from your own knowledge. Bible scholars, pastors, please come to the comment section. Let's learn, right? There are people that might even learn from, what your own opinion or your own submission, and it will make sense and all that. Drop your comment in the comment section.
So I don't know if you have noticed, gospel artists are making more money than secular artists right now. The #1 trending song on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, all those this thing. Now this, I can never go back. No, 5 days ago, when they just released that song has been on #1 since. #1 trending sound on YouTube, #1 trending sound on TikTok. Davido will release song with Omale, over a month. The thing never entered 6 million views. This one in 5 days, it almost entered 3 million. So imagine what it will do in a month. Olamide's song with Wizkid, that song is #4 on YouTube. Imagine that song is still 5 point something in 3 weeks. Now, gospel artists there very soon, mark my word, all these secular artists, because they are not passionate about Yash or all those things. They are passionate about money. They go so enter gospel music. Just bet it. They go so enter. Because the only thing we really did now money, and if the money now is already moving towards the gospel artists, listen, they go convert now. Not be to convert themselves. Big shout out to all the guys making it, happen in the gospel industry. You guys are just an embodiment of God's grace. See, Jereze last year, now he make the most money for YouTube. 7 billion, more than 7 billion naira only from YouTube. Jereze, by just Bible say pray without ceasing. So in just they pray every morning, 1 hour every morning. That's all. And in the record the own, they say normal prayer was supposed to pray. In the record the own, they collect more than 7 billion. Just mark my word. All these secular artists, many of them go convert. Just watch. And when they start converting, we will welcome them into the body of Christ. We will burn the world. We will spend the billions. We will say, well done. No, I can never go back. Big shout out to all the pastors making it happen. All the Pastor Chris, even the new generation guys, Emmanuel Aaron, name it. There are a lot of them, Lawrence Oyo, Gaze, everybody, Nathaniel Bassi, all of you, man, you guys are really, see, there is no better evangelism than when you are doing well. I swear. When you are doing well, you don't need to talk too much. Because you won't suffer, you won't come our side. I promise you, Davido will soon sing one gospel song. Bona, because he goes soon, you just watch. Wizkid. Maybe that's why I've never heard from Wizkid in a while. He just looks some more. Bless I go, your convert. Everywhere good, my people. Everywhere good. And big shout out to Pastor Paul Adefarasi. That's another man, you know. There are a lot of them, you know. Everywhere good, my people. They were here. Shalom.
Now, there's something he said in this video that is very important. You know, I've always said it in some of my videos on this page. The best form of evangelism is to do well. The best form of evangelism is to do well. Imagine gospel musicians are now making more money than secular artists. Gospel musicians. You know, the reason why there was a time where a lot of people, in fact, many of the, you can even say 80% of the secular musicians we have today started in the church. Some were in the choir and all that. At some point, they had to leave, right? The reasons they gave for leaving was, of course, they made more money as secular artists. It is easier to make more money there and the rest. But it seems the table is turning right now. The table is turning. The table is turning. The gospel guys are now doing better financially. So, if the reason why you left in the first place was because of the finance, and now they are now doing better, you have to come back. And in recent years, we saw Chidinma, who was a secular artist at some point, decided to turn back and switch to gospel music. So take it seriously. Take it seriously. It will happen. You will see people turning from that side. Davido even recently stated that he has a calling of God on his life. So these things will happen. Just a matter of time.